Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I'm Jason, your host. I hope you're having a splendiferous day. This is just a recap for those that don't know. I'm asking a friend if he'll post you on certain places to let them know why I'm not doing the things I used to do and why things have gone worse. Well, on just for the 7th of July, 5th of July, actually when it happened, I had my yearly blood test. The GP just asked me for a blood test. I went and had all the blood tests, and on the 7th, the results were posted. Not good. Those that know what all this means, I'm going to go through. I've got my patient's app on here, which shows me my serum creatinine was at 119 UMOL, which is outside the normal. Normal is between 105 and 60. This shows stuff isn't being picked up in my blood that could be. That was one of them. Ooh, if we go back, we've got my liver function test. What's called the serum ALT level with my liver on the 7th of July, it was 68. Normal range for the kidney, you want it below 45, 46, around there. Well, 49 is normal for your liver functionality. My liver functionality is fucked at the moment. In fact, it was at 68 on the 7th, and they did another blood test on the 21st of July. It's 86, so it's getting worse. My kidneys in very high stress for some reason. So it's basically not functioning anywhere near as that thing. My kidney functions are doing too well. My kidney functions are actually, when you see what's called the serum urea levels in your body, and your kidneys aren't functioning as they should, is at 9.2. Normal level is 2.5 to 7.9. Mine's at 9.2 at the moment, which means my kidneys are not filtering what this is. And the scariest result at the moment is my potassium levels. Normal potassium levels are between 3.5 and 5.3. Mine were at 3.0 and are dropping down. Well, they were at 3.1 on the 7th and the 3.0 moment. This is danger level. This hypokalemia level. I'm not doing well. You'll see that spike that went really, really low in November 23. That's when I had to basically go into the hospital to be sorted that out. So and I've developed diabetes type 2. Just on the edge, just going into diabetes type 2. They've confirmed it now with the second diagnosis. My result is, look what my tests were. My test results, it was at 49, and then it went to 48. Now, normal is between 20 and 41. So I'm diabetic now, type 2. So what does this mean? The big danger at the moment is the potassium. And the worst thing about it is I am already on a high potassium diet, because for those that know, in 2018, I had bowel cancer. I had a large amount of my intestine removed, and those were the parts of the intestine, the upper intestine, that absorbed electrolytes like potassium and that. So I've always had to have extra vitamins. I've always had to have eat more, because between 37 and 45% of my gastric system was removed back then. I went into remission, was a complete success, but symptoms caused a sort of GERD, and there was multiple problems. Won't go into it now, but the simple fact is that my body always absorbs less than it's supposed to anyway. But that isn't the big problem. They think one of my blood pressure medications that they've stopped on Monday, we're hoping that that caused my potassium drop. The thing is, between my first test on that showed the 7th of July of a 3.1 and the 3.0 of the test on the 21st, 22nd, I had been on, they prescribed me high dose potassium, and my diet, every fucking meal contains potassium. I mean, I have spinach and cabbage and broccoli and fucking everything that can be potassium, but my potassium level is still going low. The problem with that is this: if you read up hypokalemia and severe hypo, you die. This is a thing that I'm dealing with at the moment. I've got to watch out for. See, potassium is an electrolyte and is part of what keeps your electrical system of your body working, your nerves, your muscles, your heart. What can happen if your potassium dips into the below 3.0 going into the, is you can get heart arrhythmias, where basically your heart beats out of sync because of basically the electrical signals aren't going there. So potassium does the electrical system, and it helps your muscles contract. Why you get cramps? Got low potassium, you get cramps in your legs and things like that. So I've got to watch out if I start feeling numb in my fingertips and my toes and that, because that if there's a lack of potassium, then your nerve endings stop working, and that's the first signs. And I've got to basically bring an ambulance, because it can paralyze your diaphragm and stop your heart beating. So we've got to sort out the potassium side. I'm doing everything I can. The doctor's doing everything they can to figure this out. We're hoping that it is this medication that I stopped on Monday, and that medication's got like a 48. But it's a weird, bloody named. I've got the name here. Indapamide. INDAPAMIDE. If you check that out, it's a blood pressure medication. I've been on it for over a year, and for some reason the side effect has kicked in this time. Now the good thing is that I had this blood test, because would have probably just fell over dead, because even though I take a potassium supplement and have done for years, that drug may be blocking it. If it isn't that, and now we've stopped it, my potassium levels are still keep dropping, then don't know why, but something's caused my body to stop being able to take potassium. I'm taking almost like 3 times the amount of potassium a regular person has in their diet, and my numbers are dropping. So I've got to watch for things like feeling faint when I stand up. All these other problems I've got, my autism, ADHD, bipolar is not helping. I'm having to create new coping strategies for everything. I've had to change my diet completely because of the thingy. I spent quite a lot of my budget just trying to think I can no longer have any takeouts or anything because my diet was already small because what I could eat that wouldn't make my stomach create too much acid that could go in my throat was about like that. Then at that point in time, now we've got diabetes type 2, which means I now have to, everything I have should be low glycemic. Foods that don't spike your blood sugar levels. The spiking of the blood sugar levels where damage starts happening things. And now I've got to make sure that nearly everything I have is high potassium. So that's the kind of foods I can eat now. And you find all these specialist foods that are far more expensive than normal. Yay. But I'm dealing with that. I'm okay at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye on things. I've got to take my blood pressure in the morning, at night, keep it in a diary. I've got an appointment next week to go and have another set of blood tests to see whether stopping this medication has reversed the potassium damage, because the potassium problems could be what's causing my kidney to fail and my liver to fail. Or it could be not knowing I had diabetes type 2 and that damaging kidney and liver and causing what's called fatty liver disease. So once again, at the same time as reducing all my food, I've got to make sure it's low fat as well. So yeah, low sugar, low fat, high potassium, everything I fucking eat has got to be that. So I just wanted to let people know why things are thingy for me, and I still plan to go to America next year if all this gets sorted. Still want to visit in Las Vegas in February next year, but I'm dealing with a little bit of a crisis at the moment. And my health anxiety isn't helping because now I've just given it a massive amount of factual fucking problems that are actually majorly happening to my body. Every little pain in my arm and everything would be, well, is that because the potassium isn't getting to my muscle, or is it just a pain in my arm? And so I've dealing with a lot of shit. I just wanted to let people know the situation. So I hope you're all having a splendid first day. And I do miss doing a lot of things I did before, but I've got to be very careful about what I do. I'm doing very low level exercise and stuff like that, like VR, a bit of Beat Saber and that, but with my potassium being so low, I've got to be very careful about stress, very careful about pushing myself in any way, because it could happen. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now.